So, with my broken nose, you don't care that I have a broken nose. What you want is effective blue light blocking glasses, backed by science, validated by all the research I could do. So different from the crap, I say it, the crap that is sold by the big optical chains and ineffective glasses, or those that are effective at the wrong time of day, also sold by some brands of blue light blocking glasses. So, I decided in this video to explain everything there is to know factually on a daily basis about how to use blue light blocking glasses. So, before showing you all these glasses, all these things and everything, to demonstrate the live tests, just a little bit of explanation. We have naturally evolved for hundreds of thousands of years as human beings with what is called our biological clock, our circadian rhythm. This biological clock is primarily regulated by our exposure to light and secondarily by our social activities, our diet, etc. Our exposure to light has been disrupted since 1879 with the incredible invention of artificial lighting by Thomas Edison. They were incandescent lamps with relatively warm colors that did not have a huge impact on our biological clock, if you can somewhat compare them to candles. But today, we use two major sources of artificial light, and you can see this, for example, in the headlights of cars that emit this cold, highly energetic white light that dazzles. These two sources of artificial light are LEDs, light-emitting diodes. In fact, it is a peak of blue light, associated with yellow phosphor, which gives this cold white color. So the light-emitting diodes, car headlights, air lamps, screens, all screens, lighting that we use at home, lighting in restaurants, lighting in the subway, everywhere in our modern society. The second thing is fluorescent lamps, like the neon lights in offices and supermarkets. This completely shifts people's biological clocks, which has led to the tired all the time syndrome we see today. Everyone may not know the name, but everyone has experienced it. Everyone has a sleep debt, the tired. All the time syndrome is the tired all the time syndrome because of artificial light. Artificial light shifts the biological clock, prevents people from sleeping well, and hinders the secretion of melatonin, which is essential for sleep. As a result, people do not fulfill their destiny. They feel moderately tired all day without really knowing why. It's a bit like forcing them to sleep in an airport all night in a semi-reclined, semi-sitting position. That's pretty much it. But it's not always something clear enough for people to seek out, take action, and really try to optimize their sleep. But if you are here, it's because you are looking to optimize your sleep, reduce eye fatigue, decrease migraines, especially in the evening, and simply live naturally in an increasingly artificial world. Okay, I'll stop the chatter. But it's essential. Now I will show you a lot of different glasses, and later I will also tell you a bit about the evolution of my brand and the effectiveness of my glasses. What I have here is called a spectrocolorimeter. In fact, here I have a photosensitive surface that allows us to see the light spectrum of what is being analyzed. So first we will do it with sunlight, which is very important. Sunlight is a continuous spectrum of light. We need all this light. We need all of it during the day, and when the sun sets, we shouldn't have any light at all. This blue light here is the natural blue light that is crucial for regulating our biological clock, because in our retina we have a third type of photoreceptor that was discovered in the year 1998 called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, IPRGCs, and these cells are involved in migraine, chronic glaucoma, the pupillary reflex, but also and especially in our circadian rhythm, in our biological clock. And these cells are sensitive. They have a peak sensitivity to blue light. So it is very important that we are exposed to natural light during the day. Okay, now, what is the problem? The problem is that there are large optical chains that sell glasses claiming to be screen glasses. They do not know what blue light is, and they do not explain what blue light is. So, artificial blue light should not be seen in the evening, but natural blue light should be seen during the day. However, major optical chains today sell glasses that they claim are blue light blocking. These are glasses, in fact, typically like this one, which I must admit, before I really understood the importance, how should I put it, the extent of the science on the subject. So here it is, These are glasses that I myself sold. This is one of my first pairs of glasses. So here, I have the old version of the lens, and I will show you what it does. So, without wasting any time, I quickly sprinted over to the large red button that was located on the other side of the room. Basically, that's exactly it. In fact, it blocks below 410 nanometers, which means it is actually both harmful and at the same time ineffective. I will explain to you why. Ineffective because the light from screens that we want to be protected from in the evening, the light, I'm just trying to show you clearly, there it is. The light from screens that we want to be protected from in the evening. It is around 450, 460, 470 nanometers, not 410 nanometers. So in fact, this lens blocks light at 410 nanometers, which means it mainly blocks ultraviolet light and blocks a very small part of blue light. But this is insignificant from a clinical standpoint. Why is this a problem? First of all, because it is ineffective for what we want it to be effective against, namely the blue light from screens, the blue light from LEDs, the blue light from neon lights, and so on. That's the first point. They tell us to wear them during the day, but in fact they don't even know when to put them on. So we wear them during the day thinking that this way we are protected from screens and that we will have fewer headaches. This is completely false, and it's even worse. This is where I'm getting at. It is harmful. There is a 100% chance it will be harmful, a 100% chance of having side effects, such as a poor biological clock and a warm, disrupted circadian rhythm. Why? Because you have already seen the spectrum of natural visible light, so not that one, but the one just before. It was continuous. We had blue light, we even had ultraviolet. Well, this is not a machine to show you ultraviolet light, but ultraviolet light and natural blue light, which are also under 410 nanometers, are very important during the day. So if you block that with this lens during the day, it's not good at all for your biological clock. You might even get a headache and feel a little strange, but not enough to pinpoint where it's coming from. So here it is, this lens, this is the lens that all the blue light blocking glasses brands, or 95% of the blue light blocking glasses brands, because I don't know all the brands, sell you, and it is also the lens from the large optical chains. It is a lens that is both ineffective and harmful. And I admit, I sold it for a little while before really understanding. Before really looking at a rainbow and seeing that in a rainbow, there is blue. That natural blue light is too important for our biological clock during the day. Now that's the old evening lens. So these are really frames that are over 2 years old, with lenses that are also over 2 years old. This is the lens I used for the evening. Here I show you the old versions. Stay until the end, you will see why it is important. It is even a lens with my visual correction. You can clearly see here you can see that it blocks a bit of blue light. It could do better in reality, which is a shame. It's not the best, meaning that when I understood that from sunset onwards, one should protect oneself as effectively as possible from light while staying safe, if we want to see, if we don't want to burn ourselves when cooking or anything. And well, this green blocks a little bit of blue light. You can see that it blocks, well actually it blocks 80% to 85% of the light under 480 nanometers, 5% of the light under 480 nanometers, under 480 nanometers. Blue light goes up to about 500 nanometers. The reason I say about is that it's like looking at a rainbow. It's hard to say exactly where blue stops, but let's say 500 nanometers. Next, I have the lens. So this is a lens that had visual correction. Now I have the same lens, an older version, without visual correction, which is actually slightly more effective normally. Because what many blue light blocking glasses brands do, I just learned this, which is why I'm making this video now, is that it costs a lot to make an effective blue light lens, tinted yellow, with visual correction. It costs a lot, because with visual correction, it's actually a unique product. So what many brands do is they take that lens as well. Here I'm talking about the blue light blocking glasses, brands that sell yellow, red lenses, etc. And they just tint that lens. As a result, There is actually no effectiveness or very little. It is just tinted red, and so people think it is effective, that it is useful. Well, now this is the old version, which is still a decent type of lens. It is a slightly better spectrum for blocking light when the sun has set. There you go. Now that we've seen that, I will indeed present to you the solution that I actually propose now. Already during the day, as I have mentioned, the sun, there's no need to hide from it. We need to have the full spectrum of light. So I will even put on my glasses, and you will see. Basically, it's revolutionary. This lens doesn't block anything at all, and that's great, because during the day, this lens blocks nothing. Therefore, this lens is reserved only for people who usually wear glasses. If you don't wear glasses, and you have headaches in front of screens, and your eyes hurt in front of screens, it's simply because you are indoors. When we are meant to be outside, you shouldn't buy into the marketing of blue light blocking glasses and the big optical chains that try to sell you. But I understand them now, but there you go. But in short, those who try to sell you that daytime lenses, you shouldn't. So you just need to go outside, you just need to live more naturally, stay hydrated, and there you go. So during the day, my lens doesn't block anything. It simply allows me to live better without a lens that blocks ultraviolet rays and a small part of the light under 410 nanometers because you have been paying attention. Now the true technological innovation. This time it is for people for the moment who do not wear glasses that I propose it. Why? Because, as I just mentioned, it is very expensive to offer this lens to people who wear glasses with vision correction. Because it is a unique product. Believe me, it is written in there now, in my heart. I will do it. I know that I will do it one day. I will offer this lens with visual correction for you if you usually wear glasses. Now, I am addressing those who do not usually wear glasses. And here is the new lens, the night lens, which is photochromic. Photochromic. Some of you already know exactly what that means. There you see, in fact, it is a bit dark, whereas in reality, if I had made this video indoors, it would have been completely yellow. That's the photochromic aspect. Indoors it is yellow, and when you go outside it becomes a bit dark gray like this, okay? But it's not sunglasses, which is super important. So we are on the AN1 model, and we can also do it on Pierre's glasses. Here, I took some glasses from clients and partners, so these are Austin's glasses. Let's go. And now you will see. Sorry, I made a mistake because I put multiple. I just got this spectrometer, so of course. There you go. Now you're going to say, oh damn. So, here is the lens you should wear in the evening. That is to say, it still allows you to see a bit of what you are cooking or what you are driving because you shouldn't block all the light either. Otherwise, it becomes complicated in our modern society. But there you have it. Once the sun has set, we effectively block blue light and even a good portion of green light. To be precise about the numbers, we block 85.45% of the light ranging from 380 nanometers to 500 nanometers. So blue light is really well blocked. I want you to see that clearly. And then from 500 to 650 nanometers, 41.5% are blocked. So that's the maximum that I can do. This is clearly more than most blue light blocking glasses brands, and it has nothing to do with what the major optical chains sell. I also draw your attention to the fact that there are brands of blue light blocking glasses that only make tinted lenses. They tint them red, and that way we think it's effective because red is stylish. I even take this opportunity to raise awareness and advise you not to wear your sunglasses too much because sunglasses shield you from the sun, and the sun is life. So, you will see the same result with the crescent moon from Pierre. Here it is, the crescent moon. Well, there's nothing new. It will work the same way because it's the same lens. facing the sun. Here's how it works. Now, there are some people coming up behind me. Since I'm a bit shy, I think I'm going to pause, but I've provided most of the information. Okay, they have passed, so now I will summarize because I think you have understood, but now we will solidify the knowledge. What should not be done? One should not wear a so-called blue light blocking lens during the day because these are often lenses that block below 410 nanometers, thus blocking ultraviolet light that is important for our biological clock. And they are also ineffective for what we want them to be effective for, namely reducing migraines, alleviating eye fatigue, protecting the retina, optimizing our circadian rhythm, improving our mood, and decreasing our anxiety. Once the sun sets, effective lenses should be worn. It is essential to block blue light as much as possible, and even green light. To do this, you need to find the best lenses available. You can find lenses that will block a little bit of blue light. You need to pay attention to the lenses when they are tinted. They must be effective for that. The only proof of effectiveness is not the blue thing you can see, the GIF or the video photo you can see, with the blue thing, because that is not necessarily representative of the wavelengths of blue light, both at the emitter level and at the receiver level. The small white surface is not a good test. The good test is the spectrocolorimeter, as I have shown you. To my knowledge, I have not seen any brand that really shows the precise spectrum, just like I do on my site. The spectrum is, the only proof of effectiveness is the transmittance spectrum. What does the lens block and what does the lens transmit? The transmittance spectrum must correspond to the effective lenses you have. The best way to be sure of this is to have direct proof. Okay, so here it is. What you should not do is take those lenses, just a lens then. Do not wear an ineffective lens in the evening, and do not wear an effective lens during the day. What to do? Wear a completely ineffective lens during the day. You followed me. Completely ineffective during the day. So here, it's only for people who usually wear glasses, because for those who don't wear glasses, unless you just want the style, there's no point in wearing lenses that serve no purpose. And there you have it, because I wear them, just to see, because I am nearsighted and astigmatic. And then in the evening, wear an ultra-effective lens as much as possible. Currently, the most effective lens possible, my night lens, is this one, which blocks 8. So it's here, okay? 85% of the light from 380 to 480 nanometers at 500 nanometers, and 41.5% of the light from 500 nanometers to 650 nanometers. There you go. I will finish this video. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. If you watched it all the way through, it makes me extremely happy because it is the mission of my life. The mission of my life to bring back naturalness into a life that is so artificial today, in the lives of modern workers who really have a potential. People actually have an inner genius. We have immense potential, both physical and spiritual as well as mental. And yet, we keep doing the same thing. We always feel a bit tired, and we don't know why. We always have a bit of a headache, and we don't know why. But it's simply because we are not respecting one of our greatest pillars. We think about diet, we think about physical activity. Of course, that's important. I am committed to thinking about it, but we don't think about light. While light is essential for the presence of energy, the presence of water, and the presence of essential chemical elements are the 3 most important conditions for life on Earth. Light is life. That's why people feel good in the summer and bad in the winter. This is also why there are many more winter depressions today, and why people eat much more and are obese. Sorry to say it, but it's due to their overexposure to artificial light and lack of natural light. This is also why there are skin cancers. It's because we are not exposed enough to natural light. There are studies that back what I'm saying here. It's not ultraviolet light that causes melanomas. Ultraviolet light is actually what allows us to synthesize propiomelanocortin, which is important for tanning, for our mood, for reducing stress, for managing stress, and for increasing our dopamine and serotonin levels. and it's the sunglasses that, in reality, make people unhealthy. It's the sunscreen that causes skin cancers. That's it. I'm going to stop here. Trust the proof, Lev, and see you soon. Bye. In terms of lens quality, you will see for yourself that they are very, very good. They are hardened, multi-coated, scratch-resistant, and you can also choose anti-reflective options, thinned according to your prescription for daytime use, as you have followed the video well. They are also hydrophobic, which prevents water droplets from really staying on the lens, oleophobic to resist grease stains, and anti-static to reduce dust accumulation. They are not indestructible lenses, but they are very good lenses.